Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I am here in Taipei. And chin up, yeah, beautiful. We're getting a tiny bit of the illumination from the cart still. That's really nice, love that. Today I am here in Taipei and I'm going to be doing a photo shoot. Something that's probably going to be the most wet photo shoot in my career. As you see, it's lashing rain. It's not the best, but I'm leaving tomorrow and I really wanted to do this photo shoot, so I just decided to go ahead. We have a few locations that are semi-covered, so we should be okay. I'm going to be shooting on my usual setup, so my Canon 5D Mark IV and the 24-70 2.8, and I'm going to be walking you through the process, how I avoid the rain and so on, so it should be interesting. And before we get into this video, please subscribe to my channel and click the little bell button to make sure not to miss any of my future uploads.
I'd like to mention this video is sponsored by Squarespace. They're an awesome all-in-one platform for all that your website might need. They have a great customer service in case you have any issues with setting up your website. They have beautiful templates that you can fully customize and you can change around if you change your mind at some stage. They are very affordable to work with. Their plans start at around $10 a month, which is really, really good, especially if you're just starting out and you don't have a lot of money to put into your website. It looks super professional, super nice, and I definitely recommend it. So if you guys want to check it out, make sure to use my discount code and you'll get 10% off of your first purchase.
So we are in our first location at the moment. We're just preparing for the shot. I'm going to be shooting here. It's kind of stopping to rain, thankfully. That's what the forecast said, that it was going to kind of stop by 4, so that's why I kind of want to shoot in the afternoon. Right now, this is our first location. We are going to be moving on to kind of like a nighttime shoot later on. It's 4 o'clock right now. My settings at the moment is ISO 500, 200 of a second, 2.8. And we're just kind of going to see how it looks from there and just adjust accordingly. Yes, very nice. Yeah, that's great when you're interacting with the... Love that, that's great. So far I'm using quite a wide angle. I think I'm shooting between like 28 and 35. I just think it gives kind of like a nice distortion. I'm shooting quite low down on the ground. As I said, usually when I shoot fashion, I usually shoot quite much lower down, just because it kind of helps with the angle and it helps to make the model longer and just kind of make her look a bit more distorted, which is what I want for the shoot. Love that, that's great. Yeah. Really nice, beautiful. But yeah, we're getting the tiny bit of light coming from the cart, which is really nice because it's illuminating half the face. Because like, you know, it's super gloomy today and super gray. So it looks really, really nice when you have a tiny bit more of the kind of light coming on the side, because it's just like, it just looks really, really pretty. Okay, cool. Yeah, I think we totally have this one. Yeah, we can change. Okay. So because we're shooting on location, it's a bit tricky to change, so we have to send the model up to the close-by cinema to change. It's always a bit tricky when you're shooting on location and you have to change, you know, kind of either in front of everybody or just find a bathroom somewhere, so it always takes a bit of time. Right now we just finished the first look, we're going to move on to the second one. It wasn't planned, but I saw this like street of loads of like metal and like I think they're selling like fans and loads of just silvery stuff, and it looked really cool. So we're just going to head there. It's maybe like 2-3 minute walk from here. So this is going to be our second look. We are kind of slowly running out of time. It's 2 o'clock now. It's going to get dark in an hour, which is not the end of the world because I said it is kind of day to night anyway, and it is very overcast today. But I just want to make sure that I get everything I need during the daylight, whatever you call it. It's very overcast. But yeah, so we are going to head to the location next and see how it goes. So we are just here at the second location. I actually spotted this location out of the Uber window when we were driving here. It wasn't actually planned, but I really like the kind of super, you know, technological vibe. You have like all the metal silver pieces, and I think it looks really cool. We're going to start here just because the light is kind of good. Like you have all the neons and stuff, and it kind of looks nice and bright. But down the road there, there's this really cool shop with just sinks and just extraction fans, and it looks really, really awesome. So we'll probably just take a few photos here, maybe something a bit wider where I can see the neons and the colors, and then we'll move on there. So we're just using the busyness of the location, and it's like so many things happening, and we have all the signs. And At the moment I'm ISO 400 4.0 because I want to get as much background as possible and 200 of a second. Beautiful. I just really like how the sinks look because they give this kind of nice contrast. Like, I mean, we have elements of silver in this look, so I think it just connects really nicely, and it's just so nice and industrial and weird, and you don't really see this kind of stuff in Europe really, so it's kind of, it's just a really nice contrast, and it kind of captures the nightlife and the vibe of the city. So I just thought that shooting with the scooter could be pretty nice for just a few shots. Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, that's great. Lovely. Just kind of getting some textures of the city. Yeah, can you bring your legs a tiny bit more towards me? That would be great. Just don't fall. Yes, love that. Yeah, great.
Once it got dark, I wanted to make sure to have an area that was really bright with all the possible lights because I wasn't using any outside flash. I was just using my camera and natural light that was available at that point. I did do some research beforehand and I did find areas that I found had the nicest lighting. I was looking for neons and colored lights and so on. I wanted this editorial to be like really nice and funky, to be really different and really colorful. So that's what I was going for. And the first location that I found was this really nice crossing. It had this huge neon sign behind. I'm not sure what it was saying. If any of you guys know what it says, please let me know. But we ended up shooting there. It was a bit tricky with timing because I had to make sure that there was no people crossing the street and no cars going because it might look a bit too busy, and then the neon was switching on and off as well, so I just had to make sure that everything works at the same time. So it did take us a bit of time to get that shot. I was using a very slow shutter speed. I was only around 60th to 100th of a second, so I had to make sure that the model was quite still while I was getting some blur and some movement in the background, but that was the kind of vibe I was going for, so I really like that look.
It looks really pretty. It just like illuminates so beautifully on her face. It's so nice and soft, and it's just the way the light hits her face is just so beautiful because she has really high cheekbones, and it's just perfect. It's exactly what I wanted, so I'm really happy.
Once we had that shot done, I saw this really nice LED light sign that was illuminating really close to the crossing, and I thought it would be a great opportunity to take some photos there, take some nice close portraits. So I got the model to lean very close to the sign, and we had really, really lovely light reflections of it. Again, I was shooting at slightly bit slower shutter speed, but it still looked really nice because she wasn't really moving that much. I was really enjoying the little bokeh, even though I was shooting at 2.8, I was still getting quite a lot of it. And in general, I think it was one of my favorite looks. A bit later on, I just kind of leaned against the corner with my camera, and it created this nice little blur at the side of the shot, which I think adds quite a lot to the mood of the image.
Let me see the reflections. Come here for a second. My settings at the moment are ISO 400, 250th of a second, and 2.8. And by that, by doing that, I can just kind of preserve the highlights and just have the darks that are a bit too dark. But as I said, I can fix it afterwards, so it's fine. I think it's a very interesting location. I love her angles. I'm still shooting a mix between quite close-up portraits and shooting on 24 or 28 to just get this really nice distortion and this kind of really nice kind of weird look almost, because the whole idea of the shoot is kind of very, excessive and very out there. So I think it's just kind of, it just helps the idea kind of just bring out the idea a bit more.
The styling of this look was pink, so I thought it would be perfect to use the pink machines with pink bears in them. We shot through the glass, we got some really nice reflections. I also put my glasses on her and it reflected so nicely, and those were one of my favorite shots as well because I just think they were so much fun.
Okay guys, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this behind the scenes. It was quite a different one for me, as you guys know. Let me know what you think about the photos in the comments down below. And if you did like this video, make sure to subscribe to my channel, give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you next time.